It's December 17th, 2015. I'm Sandra Homemaker, and this is my kitchen. I just got back from picking up milk and cheese from Carlton Farm, and now I need to make lunch real quick and get out of the house. We have a lot to do. For lunch today, we're having turkey and cheese quesadillas. This cheese I just got off of the Carlton Farm truck. It comes from Wright Dairy in Alabama, and I had a chance to visit that dairy in the summer, and it's a really nice place. It's a nice family, and they're grass-fed cows, and the cheese is all raw and handmade, really, by the family that owns the farm. And we'll have some more Applegate turkey breasts. I got that at Trader Joe's, and then also Trader Joe's flour tortillas, and of course I'll use plenty of butter in the pan. If you caught my video from yesterday, then you saw that I brought home a whole pig, and I got to figure out how to butcher it. So this is what I got out of it. In my fridge here, I've got both of the hams curing in a wet cure. I looked that up online and found a way to do a wet cure with salt, sugar, and cloves. Oh, it smells so good. And then this is, in here, the tenderloins. I got two really big tenderloins off of the pig, and I put them in a marinade. This is the Trader Joe's soyaki sauce marinade. So the hams have to cure for a couple of weeks, and then I will smoke them on the smoker. And this tenderloin we'll be able to eat. We'll probably have one of these for dinner tonight. I'll bake it. And then the other one, it can stay in here for a week or two. We'll use it for a meal next week sometime. Oh, and while I'm here, I'll show you. We had chicken starting on Monday, and here is the last of the chicken. So we had several meals. We had chicken salad one day. We had chicken and rice the next day. We had egg drop soup for breakfast. But this is what's left of the chicken and rice. This is another meal for me and the boys. This could be our lunch one day this week. And then this whole jar right here is almost a half gallon of stock that I have left. So for any of my cooking this week and next week, I'll just use that stock. And then if I have any left over, which I probably won't, if I have any left over, I can freeze it for later. And also, these are the green beans in butter. The leftover green beans. So this chicken and rice and green beans will be our lunch one day this week. The rest of the pig scraps and bones went into a cooler, and it's on with salt, ice water and salt, and when I can, probably later tonight or maybe tomorrow, I'm going to ground all of that into sausage and add some seasoning and make breakfast sausage out of it. I just keep dumping ice in here, and there's a good bit of salt in there. So this soak helps it age and sort of get some of the off flavors, gets rid of any off flavors. And then in the pot on the stove is the head. I'm making a head cheese. So here, you can see it. Here is the snout sticking out. So this has been boiling since about 4 a.m. and I will just keep it boiling until the meat falls off. And I'll just start kind of pulling off some of this meat and fat and put it into a loaf pan. And that's head cheese. Over here on the dehydrator we have the pig ears. They are drying out, and once they're completely hard and dry, then they can be dog treats. We'll give them to the dogs. Oh, and here's the sprouts. These are the clover sprouts for the rabbits. These are doing pretty well. I went ahead and transferred all the sprouts from the jars into more trays. So they seem to do better in the trays. This one has quite a lot of growth. I actually gave our pet rabbit a little handful of the sprouts today, and she loved it. I'll put some of these out in the garden too once all this rain stops. Okay, well, that's what we have going on in the kitchen today. I've got to make lunch, and then we are headed out to a butcher shop. We're going to Patak Meats to find some blood sausage. So I'll see if I can get some pictures while I'm there, and maybe show you some more information about the butcher shop. Last week, some friends and I went to our favorite Irish pub in Milton called Old Blind Dog, and we tried something on the menu. Actually, one of my friends said we had to try the black pudding, and it's not pudding like we think of, but apparently it's a British thing. It's sausage made from pig's blood. So we asked them, it was really, really good, and we asked the waiter where it came from, and he told us that it came from Patak Meats, which is a butcher shop that I've heard of before, and it's over in Austell. So we are doing a Dirty Santa kind of a thing with this group of friends. And so I went over to Austell today, to Patak finally. I had an excuse to go, and I got 10 pounds of this sausage, blood sausage. £10 of bloodwurst, or blood sausage, or as the British call it, black pudding. So I hope they like this gift. Patak was so cool. It was, I got there, the parking lot was full, and there was people coming out carrying boxes and boxes of meat. So when I got inside, it was this tiny little shop, but they had meat. They had this long counter, all different kinds of sausage and any kind of meat that you could think of. And a bunch of Russian women behind the counter wearing their aprons, filling the meat orders, and they were going through as fast as they could, filling people's orders and calling numbers. It was a really cool experience. It's been a long day. I feel like we've been in the car all day driving to Austell and back to go to Patak. But here's what we're having for dinner. I'm going to cut up one of these tenderloins from the pig that I butchered yesterday. Cut that up into like mini pork chop type things, and I'll pan fry those on the cast iron. And then after that's cooked, I'll chop up a yellow squash and a zucchini and some onion, and just saute that real quick with some butter and bacon grease. And then here's an update on the pig head cheese. I pulled the meat off of the head, so I've started a loaf pan of meat. I put the rest of the bones back in the pot, as well as a couple of the ham hock, or the ankle joints and leg joints. So I'll let this boil overnight, another night, and then I added some spices in there. So tomorrow I'll pull the meat off of that and pour it into this loaf pan, and then it'll be all gelatinous from all of that connective tissue, and I'll let it firm up tomorrow overnight, and then we can slice it and eat it like lunch meat. Yum. This was my 4th episode of my daily food vlog challenge. So if you haven't already, go back and check out my first 3 videos and tell me what you think. Like my videos and give me a comment down below if you want more detail, or if you have a suggestion for something I should cook. Thanks for watching.